Ghosts are real. That much I know. I've seen them all my life.
This film has been described as a jump scare, Jane Eyre.
Oh, cool.
And as someone who portrayed the role of Jane Eyre, I'm wondering how that came into play for you with this role.
Yeah, I mean, they seem, you know, slightly different. There is definitely like a similarity, but, you know, they seemed like such different experiences to me and such different contexts. I mean, even this film feels slightly more like theatrical or dramatic just in tone, and Jane Eyre seemed a little bit more like on the side of realism or, you know, dramatic realism or something.
I think Edith, like Jane Eyre, she's ahead of her time.
Yeah,
we see
definitely.
that Edith isn't like your typical woman in 1901.
Yeah.
And I was wondering how you think that influences her or doesn't hinder her when she's in these supernatural situations. She's very take charge.
Yeah, well, I like her. Like, at the beginning, she's very curious and has a very strong sense of who she is, and she's also, like, naive and a little bit idealistic, and those are the qualities that kind of end up being part of her downfall, because she kind of gets stuck in this relationship and it's not what she thought. But I like that she's got enough like sense of self and strength of character to kind of find her way out of that situation.
What we see here is that even though this is horrific and gruesome to watch, it's a sexy horror movie. There's a thread of sensuality throughout. And I was wondering if you could speak about how Edith, because I think each of these characters are grappling with some form of you know, sexual discovery in many ways. How does that pertain to your character?
Yeah, I think, and even just because of the time, there is sort of like a sexual repression, and there is something about maybe why the gothic element combines so well with the romance, is because there's something like horrifying in the idea of love and romance and sex at that time. So they kind of go hand in hand.
And Edith speaks about when she's writing, the characters she's creating speak to her and take on a life of their own. Do you find that that's the case with acting?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, sometimes you read a scene or you're, you know, preparing for a scene, and then when you're actually filming it, it just feels different, and things change, and sometimes it's in ways you couldn't necessarily have imagined when you read it. And so it's always just a changing, like anything that's live and responding to real people and situations, things just change, and yeah, they do take on a bit of a life of their own.
She's also very attracted to telling supernatural stories, even before a lot of the strange occurrences start to happen. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think ghosts, and she says this herself, they kind of exist in a metaphoric way where they definitely, things, experiences can haunt people, and really what she learns is that the ghosts aren't the things to be scared of, it's the people that are the most dangerous, and really the ghosts are just trying to warn her or remind her of something, and that's, I think, what she sort of has to learn, that it's what's in reality that is much scarier.
What do you want? I have to leave.
You have nowhere else to go. This is your home now.